BagFuel, baby.
When I was on This Is 50, even if y'all look back at some of my lit moments with a lot of the guys who were popping in the club at that point, there'd be my interview with YFN Lucci, Moneybag Yo. It's like, yo, I was in the club with the nigga Punch yesterday. Casanova, there was a whole part that when we was talking, when he was like, Punch shut down the club last night, nigga, and told me to come up here today. So I liked that element. It made the brand different, but not even to hone in on that. I was making so much money off of the internet, off of YouTube and streaming and my brand and my digital brand that I had no envision and goal to be like, I need to make the radio. So when it was like, yo, Punch is the hottest, it's not on radio, I was like, all right, cool, I get it. That was his thing. I want to own that slot. And now I'm taking it up because we going up for a different way. We going to take this up onto the internet. And then Flex basically was like, he didn't like the pressure. I had way too much control at that point.
I mean, but don't you think that the thing with Flex might have hurt you because Flex has a whole lot of power at Hot 97. Mm-hmm. Him and Enough and Old Man Ebro.
Yeah.
They're like a three-headed monster is what I think. Like they're a conglomerate.
Yeah.
So once you war with Flex, you basically cut off one whole radio station, which only would leave you with Power 105.
Yeah.
And they got probably the hottest DJs that's doing clubs in the city.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you didn't make the transition to the radio when you had wanted to.
I'm going to be real. I don't know if the transition to radio would have made sense for me because what I would have had to do on the pressure, because in reality, unless they would have put me on the radio to talk, that means I would have came through Mix Show, and Mix Show wouldn't have been as valuable for me. I didn't really need that radio logo next to my name as much as some of my counterparts might.
You wanted to talk on the radio,
I wanted to talk.
Not DJ.
I never wanted to DJ.
Gotcha.
I have no real interest
now,
in
but
Mix
see,
Show.
now that brings light to me. You know what I'm saying? Because being a talker and a DJ on the radio station is two totally.
You know the thing
different
about
things.
being a DJ on the radio, depending on your slot, you tend to be a babysitter of the music. Meaning, like, at a certain slot, you're playing program music, you're reading commercials, and you're babysitting the board. Versus a slot where more so like a mixtape, you could really talk, you could really have an interview, you could really have a moment. There's certain slots. You're just a babysitter for the music.
I don't even want to kill some of the DJs like that. That's a harsh one.
I think most of the slots, to a certain extent, programming comes involved.
Of course.
It's control.
But we gotta watch what we say. Certain slot, no matter who it is, or at the whatever DJ it is on the radio, no matter how good they mix, no matter how dope it is, no matter how many bombs they drop. A large majority of it is controlled.
It's controlled.
Programming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of the game. Radio makes it easier for you now to make your money. You know where you're going Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
He's on the radio 2-3 hours out the day. It's a cool living. You go home. It's a regular job with wild perks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
getting, and I'm a million. I understand the value of it. But at that point, if I wasn't getting an obscene amount of money, which I probably would not have been able to garner as my brand would have led as just a straight DJ, it would be ridiculous. Like they would, and I hate this part where rappers go, I was rich, you can't sign me for this, I was rich before that. But I was making too much money to be paid what they would have paid me as a mix show DJ to sacrifice my internet brand because I would have had to, because I wasn't playing nice on politics. Like my brand was thriving too rawly and just saying what I wanted to do, where I would have had to have sacrificed that to have a big logo next to me. So when Flex attacks, it was kind of like oh shit. What it really just did to me was, yo, Punch, you really that guy.
So Flex just attacked you?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Out of nowhere, he just called you.
Well, it wasn't out of nowhere. I mean, the conversation came up. So to hone in on that, there was a conversation with DJ Booth, who is Fab and Nicki Minaj DJ at that exact point. When Nicki used to do like shows and tour constantly, and when Fab still does shit now because he got the residency in Vegas and all that. So Booth was having a convo with Self, and they were talking about who's the hottest DJ not on radio. And then push come to shove, people started commenting my name. I was in there lurking on the live, and I commented, and Self was like, oh shit, Punch, my fault. Yeah, Punch was doing some shit, and Self basically gave an answer where it was like, yo, Punch is big and hot, but I don't look at him straight like us. Just like what you said, where it was like DJs weren't really identifying and valuing and respecting the internet presence. So I knew this, and I go, why? Because you looking at a nigga that just came off and just did 45,000 people in Poland, 35,000 people in Russia, 25,000 people in Yugoslavia, and go on and on and on and on. Everything. France, UK, the whole shit. Sweden, Ibiza. I'm going up. You get what I'm saying? I probably just touched 1 million people if we sit there and just add it all up. You get what I'm saying? So why wouldn't you try to put that respect on me as a DJ? And then it was just kind of like this. And then I can talk and articulate myself well. So when me and Self started going at it, it started a cannonball in the DJ community in New York. So much that the big homie, Mr. C, jumped in and was like, yo, listen, Punch, gather up all the questions that we have. I feel like, because, I mean, DJs, nah, I'm hot. Self is a hater. Clue this. Yo, Pro Style this. Enough this. Flex this. Everybody, all the big names, everybody was like throwing rocks at them. You get what I'm saying? Now, it was kind of like, yeah, Punch right. Y'all do be not fucking, you get what I'm saying? Mr. C saw that Self was kind of almost sinking in the dialogue and said, relax. I'll come in, I'll speak about it. And then Flex's name came up a lot more because I'm also a very in-tuned person in the culture. So I know Self is Union and Gwinnett. You get what I'm saying? I understand what that means. But I also understand that Mr. C is Big Dog Pitbull. I came up on the DJ enough. I know what the heavy-hitter structure is like, why it's designed the way it is, et cetera, et cetera. So when we start talking DJ politics, not to kill everybody with the details, but to go real, I understood what was going on. So when I spoke up with C, we started talking about how I felt that Flex wasn't maximizing the Big Dog Pitbulls. And then he kind of ignored it and then created lit digital DJs. I know this. I watched it. I watched him sign DJs and them niggas sync. You get what I'm saying? And then Flex being the big dog, I was like, that's your fault. And then I even pointed blame at C. And C is like, yo, bro, some DJs, we actually did wrong because we could not do what we needed to do for them. It was almost too much. The infrastructure was going. Sometimes Big Dog Pitbulls had the control. Sometimes heavy hitters had the control. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes heavy hitters had the more lean. You get what I'm saying? Where Enough had 14 hours of the 24 hours. You get what I'm saying? And then sometimes where Big Dog Pitbulls had it. Bobby Trends, Cypher Sounds, Triple X, Flex, obviously.
DJ Walla.
Walla's heavy hitters.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm paying attention.
Heavy hitters had it sometimes.
Yeah, but those were the Big Dog Pitbulls.
Okay,
but I mean,
okay,
again,
my
I'm
bad.
super educated on what it was. We had DJ Enough, DJ Camelo, we had Big Ben, we had CeeLo, we had Cass One, we had DJ Walla, you had DJ Absolute. The heavy hitters were on there ridiculously, and if I forgot someone, I'm not being a sucker. I'm running off at DJ L Boogs. You get what I'm saying? It was action. And they had Pro Style, and Pro Style went power. So while all of this is going down, like, I get it. And that's my whole point, too, is that I'm not one of these guys that was shooting off the hip. Like, yeah, I got a chance. No, motherfucker. So I'm astronomically educated on the culture to speak from it. My fault, Hynaken. Yeah. To speak from it from an educated perspective to go, yo, you're not just going to big dog me. I know too much. And then that's why the culture of the we, of everyone not on radio, was like, yeah, Punch, speak for us. And they were okay with that because their voices were not getting heard because of the OG to followers. But guess what? I'm more viewed than the OGs, so now what? And then that's when the conversation really got at an even playing field. So I'm chilling the next day, and then, bow, Funkmaster Flex shots all over the radio. That's how it went. And then I was like, oh, it's lit. And now me understanding the internet, understanding the digital sphere, I said, oh, Flex really must not be understanding, bro. I've literally, prior to that, we talking about 6 months before that, I'm with 50 Cent in the think tank. I'm with Tekashi in the think tank. I'm literally in the think tank with the biggest trolls to ever come across the internet. Are you dumb? Okay, cool, we'll play around. And then that's why the next day I ended up doing 1.5 million views when I went in front of Hot 97 and started attacking Flex immediately on a trolling video right after. It was like, oh yeah, you talking about me, that I'm an internet dude. Because he was like, hey, you'll never get off YouTube. You'll never get off World Star. You'll never touch the box. And I was like, well, you've never worked anywhere else. You keep walking into this office. That's 25 years. Go do something different, you know, and then trolled right back. And then that's what it was. And I think that I trolled them for about 2 weeks. Some DJs pick sides. I had OGs call me. OGs call me. You get what I'm saying? And the one OG that I will drop his name that called me and was okay with it was Kid Capri came out and was like, Punch, when you're joking him and you're calling him old, it walks this thin line that we don't like. And I was like, well, I consider there's a difference between an OG, and that's when I came up with the thought process of calling him a dinosaur. And I'm like, a dinosaur is someone who gets old and stuck in their ways and they become extinct. An OG uses his age and his wisdom to teach, instruct, and lead. And I was like, Kid Capri, you're an OG. SNS is an OG. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's OGs. Mrs. C is an OG. There's differences. I looked at Flex as a dinosaur. It was different. You get what I'm saying? Because he wasn't like really pulling people up, and I didn't need him to pull me up. I didn't want to be down with that shit. I was literally on those videos saying, what about Starks? What about Mad Out? What about Booth? What about Sir Manny? What about all these other DJs, Big Reef? Or what about the DJs that were moving, K-Dog, G Money? It goes on and on and on. DJs that were hot as fist grease. You get what I'm saying? That we're moving. What about them? So if y'all don't look at me like the real guy, I'm not the truest form. I'm only been doing this for 5 years. You get what I'm saying? Cool, then go get one of the young vets. What are we doing? Y'all starting to move like haters. And because I was so educated, my brothers, you get what I'm saying? It just was making him frustrated, and I trolled him. And he lies a lot. Says he's hot. He used to DJ a lot for free to stay on. He was buying followers, bought a fake Instagram, shit like that. So, and I exposed all of it, went at it, and I know that Flex at the end of the day goes, I love Punch, man. This is a fiery young nigga because I didn't back down. I had him on the ropes, did what I did, and I came out, and my career wasn't ended. So I won because he crushes niggas. When Flex goes at you, it's party done. He didn't kill me. I can't kill him. He's on the box. He has a salary. I could embarrass him. He wasn't going to get fired.
Nigga's a legend. So
once you survive, you won.
You won, yeah.
So
and he put the spotlight on you, and you use your popularity, and you make it do what it do. And sometimes, honestly, people do come around and come back together because people do respect your fight. You know what I'm saying? People do respect niggas that do not lay down. I'm not saying that everybody does, but there are the quality people who understand the game and be like, yo, I tried to get at this nigga. I underestimated him.
Flex has a lot of respect.
You know what I'm saying? So it's it's entertainment to me. It's what I always tell. It's what I always tell people. This entertainment business, you have to be entertained. If you're not entertained, what are we doing?
Yeah.